Tonight will be a real basic lesson, just to kind of do a brief overview before we get heavy into our Torah portion this week. I want to share with us some real basic, elementary type of things that we need to understand about what we're reading. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Praise Yah. All right, so the name of our book, okay, that we're studying out of now, we're in a new book now. We're in a new scroll, all right? I really don't like that word book, but we're in a new scroll. We're in a new part of the writings, okay? And they call it Leviticus, okay? This is the Greek name of our scroll, okay? Which they're saying it's about the Levites. Leviticus. You see that cuss on there? Like Tychicus and Titus and all this kind of stuff. So this right here is a Greek name. That's what this is a Greek name for our book. The true name of our scroll is called Yikra. Okay. Yikra. Okay, Yikra. As you can see, it's and. So and doesn't mean that this is a separate book. It's not separate. It's still part of the same scroll. And it means it's a continuation of what we just left out of. Okay. So you never start a book off with and unless you're continuing something. So this is a scroll and it's saying, hey, we're going to continue to have a conversation. The word that's being used here for our Torah portion, Yikra, here, or Y is and then this little yod here is he. And then the three-letter root word is called Quara, a Q, a R, and an A, okay, which they would call in Hebrew, Kadra, Q-A-R-A. Kadra, okay? Kara has several different meanings. It can mean to call, okay? It can mean to read. It can mean to proclaim, okay? Or to publish, okay? So that's what this scroll is about. And the one who's doing the proclamation, or the one who wants something to be proclaimed and to be published, is this he right here. The he here is Yod He Wahe, the supreme being, okay, over all humanity, and he's proclaiming with a strong staff to his servant Moshe, okay? And why, meaning and, he, that Yod right there is he, who? Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, and it's telling you who the he is right here. Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh spoke to Allah, to him. That is to Moshe, okay? In the place that Yah chooses to speak to Moshe is from the Me-Ohel, right here. That's a preposition meaning from. That letter Mem right here in Hebrew is called a preposition, and it means from, which also has to do with water, okay? So from the water, okay? So he's saying from the tent, the Ohel. That's what a tent is called, okay? The tabernacle, Ohel Moed. We have to know our terms because we're not English people. We're not Americans. We're Hebrew Israelites. So we have to understand what these terms mean. Okay, so he's calling him and he's speaking to him in the only place, I want to say it again and again and again, the only place that the Most High is going to proclaim anything to Moshe is from the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. This is where he calls him all the time. The reason why he's calling him there is because that is from the place of not only meeting, but it's like an appointed place. That's where you get this word moed, which we get our word moed. Then we put a moedim in there, which means appointments, which you and I are coming up on one of the appointments that the Most High says that he wants to see us. Okay. Right. So from the appointments, that's where he's calling it, from the Tena, meaning from the appointments. This Moedim here also means for his appointed seasons. Okay. Which means that we're going to be talking about Pesach. We're going to be talking about Matzah. We're going to be talking about Shavuot. We're going to be talking about all those things because the Most High is going to make these proclamations to us. Because going off of what we learned on Shabbat, this is a continuation of the Most High saying that I've established a relationship. Before he was going to totally wipe us out until Moshe said, hey, remember the Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Remember that you are a merciful Elohim. Remember that you're full of compassion and mercy, and don't let these nations see you do this, because if you do this, it's going to really look bad. And then, it's going to put a real bad taste in their mouth about who you are. So he didn't do it. He didn't wipe us out. But the basis of the relationship, listen to me carefully, is for us to understand that these Moedims are for people who will be witnesses to what the Most High said. There is your aid, your witness right there, which is an ayin and a dalet. Ayin means your eye, spelled Ayin, ayin. And here's your dalet, D-A-E-L-T, which is the name of this letter right here, corresponding to this one right here, that says that it means a door. So the eye of the door, which means your eyelids. So you open your eyelids up and you have to go to the place where the Most High says go to receive the information, because that's where Yahweh will speak to Moshe. Okay. And Moshe then will go from the tabernacle of meeting, right, the appointed place of witnesses, because that's where the witness is. Okay. The witness is called an aduth, which is the testimony, which consists of an ayin, a dalet that you can see, and a tav. So that means testimony. Okay. So the witnesses are giving testimony to something that they actually visually saw with their eyes. Okay. They saw it with their eyes. They saw the fire and they heard the Most High speaking to them, but primarily they saw the things that he did. They saw when he, killed the firstborn. They saw the plagues. They saw the Red Sea open up. They saw the enemies of Israel be destroyed. They saw it. They saw the manna. They saw the water. They saw the quails. They saw people get killed. They saw it all. Okay. So this relationship with the Most High, anytime anybody becomes one of his witnesses, okay, they're going to have to testify in court to what? They got to testify to the truth. When you go to court, they say, okay, I'll make you swear, and you're going to be a witness. They'll make you put your hand on the Bible and raise your hand and take an oath and swear. This is where they get it from. That since you saw this, okay, you're going to have to testify to what you saw, which you're going to have to testify to the truth about what's in the aduth, which are the 10 words, and the Torah, which includes the Mishpatim, the Kukim, the Moedim. They're all there. That im just means plural. Okay. So that's what it is. All right. So the Torah is the most important part of this relationship. If you and I don't have the Torah, and you're not interested in learning about the Torah, then you're not going to have a relationship with the Most High. If you're not good, because the Torah tells you about the Moedim, it tells you about the seasons, it tells you about Pesach, it tells you where you should be at a certain time in a certain season. If you're not there at that time, then there's going to be someone or something that is literally going to witness against you, saying that you did not show up. Okay. So again, the sun and the moon and the stars are all witnesses, and they witness and they testify to the days, the months, the years, and the seasons. They give all testimony. You see? And they speak, as we know, and they say words. Okay. So this ain't no hocus pocus. They literally talk. Okay. And that can be found in Psalms chapter number 19, 1:9. It'll tell you that they have speech and they declare different things. Okay. We might touch it, we might go look at it, but let's continue. So the idea of this relationship, the Most High now is saying, I'm going to proclaim to Moshe and I'm going to speak to him and I want him to receive this information. Then I'm commanding him in a very forceful way. Okay. Not in a simple way, in a forceful. It's a forceful way. That's what this PL, this verb stem right here, this harshness. You say, why is that important? Because how things are done determines how one should respond. So if the Most High is speaking to us in a very forceful way, you got to understand that this is intense and that it is what you would say serious. This is serious business. This is serious business. This is not no play game type stuff. Okay. This is serious. It's like if you don't prepare yourself for this, you're done. A lot of people don't teach that. They tell you that the Most High he's going to forgive you and he's going to let it just go. That's why he's Elohim and you're a human being and he'll understand. And the fact of the matter is he's not. He's not going to do it. If he's giving us the instructions and we turn our back on it, he's like, I'm done. This is the only way you and I can know him, by listening to the words that he speaks. So he says, speak, Devar, to Elu B'nai of Yisrael. I need you to talk to them, and you are to say perfectly. You need to say this perfectly, perfect to them. Adam. When anyone, they say an Adam here, okay? The key that Yakriv, meaning to bring, or we're caused to bring from them a gift to Yahweh, to me. This is Yahweh talking to him. You tell them, okay? If Adam, any person who wants to draw close, because that's what our Torah portion is about, it's about drawing close to the Most High. The word for drawing close is called Qua Rav. Okay, Qua Rav. We went over this before, but we're going to always go over it because it's just part of who we are. The Most High wants to Qua Rav. He wants to draw close. He wants to draw you near to him. If you're going to be in a relationship, I don't want there to be any distance between us. I got to close the gap. Number one, I'm not human. So me and you are not on the same level. So the way that you draw near to other people has to be different than the way that you draw near to me. Because if you come near me, okay, in a certain way, remember he told Moshe, nobody can see my face. If they did, they'll instantly die. Nobody can come near to the ark or the Ark of the Covenant, or they'll die. No one who's unauthorized can come next to the altar, or they'll die. Because I'm kadosh, I'm set apart. So what I need to do is I need to teach the children of Israel, number one, that they're an Adam. That's what you are. You're an Adam. Okay, so let me explain to you what Adam is. We have the basic meaning for Adam to be the one who was found in the garden. Okay, but we know based on our studies, and I should go there to again prove what I'm saying. Adam consists of both male and female. That's what Adam is. English, A-D-A-M. Okay, so it's not one individual. Okay, Adam is humanity, both consisting of a male and female. So when he talks about anyone, one may think Adam, thinking a man. That's not true. He's talking both about masculine and feminine energy and gender. Anybody who's coming to me, any person who decides when they draw near to me from any of them, meaning you, okay? You guys, when you come to me, there's something I'm looking for, okay? So Adam, again, too, let's break down the word. The first letter for Adam, humanity, is an aleph, okay? So what does the aleph represent?
Strength.
It's strength. Okay. All right. So we got that, and it's by an ox. Okay. And a little ox head. That's a picture graph. Okay. We have two other letters. Okay. Which are called Dam. Dam in Hebrew means blood. Okay. Dalet here is a door. This right here is the water or any other fluid. It's not just water. It could be any other liquid, which can be blood. It could be semen. It could be any of those things. Okay. It could be pus. It could be any of that. Okay. So any other type of fluid, because it's moving, because that's what water does. That's what blood does. Okay. So when we talk about Adam, what we're talking about is the strength of the blood. Okay. There's strength in our blood. And what does it mean by the strength of our blood? It means that since we're this type of creation, we pass our strength from ourselves to the next generation. And we do that through sexual intercourse. And you pass that on. The seed is passed on to the woman's planted inside of her. She's like the ground. And then she brings forth. That's her job, is to bring forth the seed, okay, to support it. Once she supports it, the seed comes out. It comes out through the door of this blood, okay? Comes out, then you got another human being. That's an Adam. That's another Adam who can carry both a male and a female. So if you notice, a male, he as a father, he can have a son or he can have a daughter. Well, where's that come from? It's coming from him. He's the one who determines the actual the gender of the child. See, so it's perfect. Okay. Also, too, we know that as human beings, we have what they call a nefesh, which is feminine, right? It's called a nefesh. Okay, nefeshka. So it's our souls. So any human being that wants to come next to me, this is what they have to do. Okay. So now he's laying down, he's proclaiming the ground rules of how we are supposed to approach him, okay? So they have this word here again. Here is to draw near, and then here is using the same letters, the kof, the resh, and the bet. And then they throw an extra little noon on the end called a korban, okay, or korban. A korban is, they say it's an offering, and it could be considered to be an offering, but sometimes they call it a gift, you know, depending on what it is. But we got to be careful about giving designation to certain words because that would change the meaning of it, right? So we understand that anything that a person is to bring to the Most High, he's saying like, this is the stuff that I want. So he's going to list to us where this has to come from, okay? This right here is a preposition, is a min, which is again a mem in Hebrew and a noon, okay? And it's spelled E-M-E-N, like men, okay? Or M-I-N, min, okay? That's what it's called. And what do we get from this? It means a type, okay? So I want you to take something away from one of the things that I created on the 6th day, which is the Behema. I created this on the 6th day. Okay. The Behema, what they would call livestock, are any animals that are not wild. Okay. So they're not wild. They're not the cougars, the lions, the leopards. They're none of those, not the rhinoceros, none of that. Okay. These animals that he's making reference to, the Behema, are the ones that are going to be under the care of man. There's a reason for this, okay? So out of your livestock, or from the type from your herd, your habaquar, okay? They have that word right there, habaquar, meaning they're given a direct object marker. That first letter is a hey. That hey is pointing directly to what do I want from your herd, okay? So from your herd, what I'm looking for is something what they would call a ba-quer, okay? Now check this out. I just discovered this. I just saw this, okay? You look at what he says up here, to cause to bring. I'm gonna put it, let me just put a different color so we can really focus. Just show this to me right now. Okay. Looking at each one of these boxes, okay, what do they have in common? All right. This one right here is a kof, it's a resh, and it's a bet. This one right here. Let me get someone's trying to get in. Kof, a resh, and a bet. Okay. So they're connected. They're connected. They share these 3 letters. This one right here, can everybody still hear me? Hello?
Yes.
All right. So the letters are just rearranged. These right here are exactly the same. They're equal. Well, you know, one's an offering, one's to bring near, to come close. So to bring an offering is to come close to the Most High. So these are equal. This one right here, you guys, has a bet and a kof and a resh, just like this has a kof, a resh, and a bet. They're just arranged differently. Okay. There's another word that's kind of similar to this word right here, which they're using for the herd. This right here is called bo-quer. Does anybody know what bo-quer means? Bo-quer is morning. Yes, who said that?
Correct.
Dr. Ured, absolutely correct. It's the morning. And the reason why it's talking about the morning and they're associated, I'm just giving you some word association, is because the herds are the ones that you have to get up and go out the first thing in the morning. They're the priority, okay? Just helpful information. And this all makes sense to us as we continue, okay? So he's asking out of the herds and from the flock. I want the flock. I want you to take something from the flock. So out of livestock, out of the herd, and from your flock, you shall bring me or your offering. That's what I want. Those 3 right here. So to draw close to me. Now, the question is, why? Why does the Most High want something from a Haboquar, from the Behema, out of there? And why does he want something out of the flock? Okay. Why does he want something out of those two? That's the question. What do you guys think?
The book where the morning and the first thing.
Right. So we got the Boquer, which has to do with the morning, right? It's the first thing, right? All right. So I have a lot to talk about, so I might as well get into it. Livestock and that which comes from the herd are two different types of animals. Okay. When you think about a herd, okay, how much is there a difference between a herd and a flock? And if so, what's the difference? I'm only posing these questions to get us to start thinking and talking. What's the difference between a herd of cattle and a flock of sheep and goats?
The species.
Right. So we got different species, right? All right. So that's good. What else? What about their care? What about how they're managed? Herds are more independent. They're just out there chewing the cud, wherever they were going, they're going, they're herded into one spot, right? With the sheep and the goats, right? Where they consist of the sheep, the goats. Up here, you have your oxen and your cows and your calves. Okay. The cows, the oxen, and the calves are a species that have to do work. They're the ones that you use for work. Have you ever seen someone tie a vegetation instrument to a goat or a sheep and have them drag a plow? No. So the herd has to do with work. Okay. And the work that they're doing is for who? Who is this cow or this oxen or these calves? Who are they doing their work for? They're crushing grain. They're pulling plows. Who are they doing it for?
The people, the master.
They're doing it for their master. So they're the workforce. Okay. Excellent. When we talk about our sheep and our goats, right? Our little azales and all them kind of guys, the little baby lambs and all them. What are they doing? Do they provide any work or services?
Food.
Right. They might provide food, but what kind of work do they do? Really nothing. Their deal is they need to be guided and taken care of by a shepherd. Okay. So the shepherd, this is more of the shepherd is caring for them. He's caring for them. He's the one who's watching over them. They're not as independent as these guys are. Okay. Now, there's a reason why the Most High said, if any Adam wants to bring me an offering. The reason why he uses Adam is because man was created on what day? What day was man created on?
6th day.
He's on the 6th day. What day was these behemoths made from? What day were they on? The 6th day. Okay. What we share, okay, we share in our humanity, listen to me carefully. We share in our humanity traits that are very similar to that which came out of the ground of the
Look at
behemoth.
these fucking pillows again. Huh? Fucking get on my nerves with that.
Wow. Interesting. All right. So did you guys lose me? Sorry about that. I don't know who that was.
I'm still here.
All right. So what we have, I hate when that happens because it breaks my train of thought. So what we have is we have a lot of the characteristics like the behemoth. We share a lot with them in common. Okay. We have what they would call personality that we can share with the behemoth. Okay. We're called to do work for our master. Okay. We're also share characteristics like the sheep and the goats. This is why the Most High says that my people are like sheep in Ezekiel chapter number 34. So because we share these characteristics, the Most High is saying that when you approach me, okay, I want you to bring me these animals because they're personified as if they're you. So if you're bringing them to me, they're going to have to be a certain way, okay? And if you're going to bring it to me, they're going to be a representation of what you are trying to be. Okay? So let me explain that. The Most High said in verse number 3, and he calls this offering, this coming near to him, called an olah. I know you can see it right here in verse number 3. Okay? An olah. An olah is the first type of offering that the Most High wants. Okay? It's the first type. What's interesting about this word is we have the ayin and the lamed, which is to the ayin is the eye, the lamed is the staff. So the eye towards the staff, the eye towards the authority. If you got the eye towards the authority, you're going to look at the authority. You're going to look at the one who's holding the staff. Okay. The olah also means to be upon. Okay. The first letter to aleph, ayin and lamed, it means upon. All means upon. Okay. It also means to ascend. Okay. To go up. Right. That which is ascending. Okay. To elevate. Okay. Another definition is to have what they would call progress or advancement. So the ideas behind progress, advancement, ascension, being lifted up, going upwards, is by us looking at the authority in which is over us. Just like we have to look, listen, we have to look at the animals that we present to the Most High as if the Most High is looking at us. The reason why I say that is because the Most High is interested in the advancement, in the progress of the individual, so they can come to a place where they can be able to come and share in this relationship with the Most High. The condition in which a person is to make this olah, because we're going to talk a lot about that, this olah right here, is that when you bring this to the Most High, when you draw near the korabano, what you're bringing from this herd, it has to be a zakar. It has to be a male, and it has to be what you would say perfect. Okay? It has to be whole. So in the religious world, they call this offering the whole burnt offering. I know you heard of it before, the whole burnt offering. Why? Because it's asking for the whole thing. Okay? But our word tamim means whole abstractly, but it also means to be full, and it means to come to a place of maturity. That's where you would say is perfection. Okay? So the idea is to go forward in order to be progressive, in order to advance with the Most High. He's saying that I have to bring you to the point of what this animal has become, because I'm not receiving anything from anybody unless it is perfect. That's it. That's it. It has to be perfect. I'm not accepting nothing with no blemishes. I'm not accepting nothing that's half done. I'm not accepting nothing that's lame. I'm not accepting nothing that's blind. I'm not accepting it. So the desire is that you and I would come to the point where we would begin to understand and learn from the animals in which the Most High puts into our possession and in our personal care. That's why it's very important for us to accept and understand that we are these agricultural people. People want to get away from that. When they go back to the land, they don't want to deal with the cattle. They don't want to deal with the cattle. They don't want to deal with the sheep and the flocks and the oxen. They think it's going to be all over. They just want to drive around in cars and, go to wineries and kick it. That's what they want to do. They want to go to what you want to call it. They want to go to Dubai and, we want to be like the Arabs, you know what I'm saying? Walking around with our sheets and sheiks on and our hats, and the women are laid out. I mean, everybody wants that, but they don't want this. Okay. The reason why we are, we have learned the wrong way, okay, and we've been taught the wrong way, is because nobody had looked at what it really means. Meaning they said that, the Most High doesn't want the bulls, and he doesn't want the goats, and he doesn't want this, because what they've done is take a scripture out of context and say, I don't want the bulls and I don't want the goats. Well, we could take a look at another scripture that says, I don't have a problem with your bulls and your goats. They're mine anyway. Yah is using these animals as teaching props. He's using it as a teachable moment, so he can bring us to our full maturity and to bring us to perfection. And so later on this week, we're going to talk more about what this burnt offering really means and why the Most High is asking for it. But to sum up everything we learned tonight, the Most High has chosen these animals because we share a lot in common with them. All right. And he's saying to us that, listen, even there's some independence that I have given you. That's the reason why I'm asking it from the behemoth, from the Baquar, is because there's some part of you that you have to have some independence about you. When I made you and I created you to be self-sufficient. I created you to be independent. I created you for you to make decisions. I didn't create you not to make decisions. Okay. And also too, along the way, the part of you that I want to deal with is I want to deal with your animal instincts. That's what I want to deal with. I want to deal with the behemoth that's inside of you. Okay. I want to deal with the part of you that you don't want to deal with. That's what we're going to deal with. Praise the Most High. I do apologize again for the interruption that we had this evening, but we know how we are. Things happen, but praise the mighty Yah. Any questions before I let you go? I'm excited because we're going to learn even more about our Elohim. Okay. So the Ola is about progress, it's about advancement, and it's about Yah teaching us through this animal. Of course, we know the Most High does want something that's the male, because the male is what he chose. You know, it's the strength. And he also says that, again, let me just finish the verse. He says that when you bring it, I need you to bring it to the Pethakol Hill, to the opening and entrance to the tent of meeting. Again, going back to the tent of meeting, the point of where the Torah resides. That's the goal. The goal is to bring you back here because I want to remind you, okay? Because remember, male means a reminder. Male means a memorial that gives us a reminder. So every time they would bring this to the Most High, they were coming there to be reminded about what was inside of the tent of meeting, the tabernacle, which of course is the testimonies of the Most High. And that's what you and I are going to have to remember if you and I are indeed going to be his witnesses. So anybody who doesn't remember the testimonies of the Most High and they don't show up to the Ohel Moed, then they're not the witnesses. And guess what? They have failed in their duty to the Most High. So that's what this offering is about. We'll talk more about that later on this week. Okay. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, everyone. Lila Tov to you, and I'll see you on Yom Kamishi if Yah was willing.
Lila Tov.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.